is up, Slay Nation? It is me, NexGenSlayer. I command the Eastern Roman Empire against an opponent who commands the Saxons in this battle. It's the Battle of the Pyrenees, and I did bring one artillery to this battle just because it was a quick match battle, so there's never any rules in quick matches unless people agree on them, and usually it goes too fast to actually set up some rules. But we're just going to move around. This is actually a very long battle. So I'm actually gonna speed up for just the parts where nothing actually happens, and when stuff actually does happen I will get back to you. But first, let's look at our armies. Let's look at my opponent first. He commands very heavy spearmen. I believe he has 4 units of these. Yes, he does. They're Nordic spear masters. And as for his melee infantry, he has 3 units of Nordic warriors, 4 units of Nordic bows. His general unit is a very heavy melee infantry, the chieftain with Gidricht. Don't even ask me. He has 2 elite Nordic warriors, so that complements his elites. And then 3 medium axe Nordic axe warband. Over here, he has hiding off some cavalry units. These cavalry units are the Nordic horse lords, which are heavy melee cav. And he has 3 units of those guys. Sweet for him. As for me, I'm setting up here in the hills so that I have the advantage. I'm hiding my guys in the woods. But let's look at my army first off. I have 3 units of exploratores. Excuse me, I don't take Latin. Actually, 1 unit of that. And preventores. 2 units of those guys. As for my spearmen, I have Eastern Auxiliar Palatina. I'm not very good at pronouncing this Latin, man. I believe I have 2 units of those. 3, excuse me. I cannot count today. And as for my bowmen, I have 2 units of medium bow, armored Segatori. For more melee guys, I have some very heavy melee infantry, Eastern Armor Legeo. And notice this guy, he's setting up over here while I'm talking. He's gonna actually send these guys into hiding right here in this little tree area. It's not very effective as a forest. But he's gonna set up the rest of his army over here like this, and it's gonna stay like that for a while. Just to let you know that much. So, where was I? I have 3 units of very heavy armored melee infantry. Eastern Armored Legeo, Protectores Domestic. I'm not even gonna say it. 2 units of those guys and 1 unit of, like I said, the Armored Legeo. As for my excuse me. As for my cavalry unit, I have 2 skirmisher units, Imperial Dromedari. that sounded like rednecks pronouncing that. Scale Palatine and Clubinari. As for my artillery, I have very light Scorpio, which doesn't have great range, but it shoots farther than archers, so that's a plus. So this is how we're gonna set up, and during this battle, he's actually taunting me. He's like, "What are you? Are you just gonna sit up there? Come and get me." And like, anybody who's smart would realize that I have the advantage, so I don't really want to have to charge him, but when he's just sitting there and it's a 20-minute battle, someone's gonna have to make a move, otherwise nothing's gonna ever happen. So when stuff starts to happen and I or him start to make a move, I will speed up and be back. Alright guys, we're back. Here's my general unit. I'm actually starting to make my first move by moving up my archers. I knew that he outnumbers me in his archers, but I thought maybe I can just make some hit and runs with my archers since he's not doing anything and taunt him into battle. It's been about 2 minutes since I said we'll be back, so we've just been sitting here for 2 minutes. I was expecting him to actually make a move, but it doesn't seem like he's gonna make a move. Seems like he's just gonna try and camp it out the whole match, and I'm actually gonna have to come down from my little hill and make the move, unless I can actually taunt him enough to come up. So obviously you see I'm way out of range, but I just want him to see my archers so that maybe he'll just charge them. And this isn't really working, so I'm actually gonna have to do something else. Alright, so you see here now, I'm actually moving up my archers. So I'm just out of range of his archers. And why I'm doing this is because first off, he has more archers than me, I don't want to get shot. Second off, I can still shoot at his Nordic Spearmasters. Even though they have very heavy armor and are unlikely to get killed at all, at least I have a chance to kill maybe one or two. Just so he gets a little pissed off maybe and will come after me, but we'll see. We'll see. So you see I've lined them up, and these guys are going to shoot these guys, and he's actually moving up his archers, so I'm going to get a few shots off. And that's good. I actually killed a couple of his archers, but he's going to get some shots off onto me as I'm running up the hill. And it doesn't look like he's going to get... Oh, he got one kill. Yeah, so I actually did a little bit better. I got 2 kills. Alright, sweet. So, basically, I'm doing some guerrilla warfare tactics, hoping that he's going to keep on coming after me. But he's going to call off his men and actually send them back behind his lines. So, at this point, I realize he's not going to move. So, I'm just going to keep on doing this until he decides to make a move or I figure out something better. Because at this point, there's nothing much I could do. If I charge down with my army, he's most likely to crush... like, he's gonna most likely crush me with his army. Even though I do have some very heavy melee infantry and all. And I actually don't outnumber him in infantrymen, I don't believe. I may outnumber... No, I don't outnumber him in spears either. I do outnumber him in cavalry units, so that's why I'm not doing anything too crazy. But over here you see I moved my skirmisher units to my left flank when I'm facing down the hill, and I'm actually going to move them and swipe around while he's distracted with my archers going back and forth and shooting at him. So once I set up over here, I'll explain what I'm about to do, because these guys actually will have a purpose. So I did actually think of something to try and taunt him, but there's only 13 minutes left, and I figured if I don't do something at this point, we're going to run out of time before this battle ends, and I'm kind of cutting it close at this point right now. Back here, his cavalry units still haven't done anything, so I don't really have to worry about them yet. Alright, so my guys are on the move again. They're just getting a little bit further around the enemy. They set up where I showed you before, and now I've kind of flanked him, and if he doesn't move his army, then his guys could be screwed. So I was hoping that he would adjust some of his men, so then if I do make a charge down the hill, I will actually have a chance of beating him, because I'll get him from 2 flanks. Even though skirmisher cav aren't that great, these guys are medium skirmisher cavalry, which usually these guys are light or very light with their armor. So I'm actually going to charge his axemen, because I figured, hey, his axemen are defenseless, they can't do anything. But this is only my second battle playing this game, so I had no idea what the axemen did. I didn't even know if they were good. I thought they may just be like the grenadiers of Attila. And I didn't even know my skirmisher cal just throw like spears at him. I thought they just charged. Then when I saw his axemen throw axes at me, I'm like, what the hell? So that kind of threw me off there. And these are actually arrows now, so these arrows aren't actually getting my guys. I'm actually getting his axemen right now. They aren't really doing anything, so I'm not too worried about these guys. I'm just racking up free kills as far as I'm concerned. See, my guys haven't got hit yet, and they're kind of like grouped up together. But yeah, these are just his bowmen shooting at me right now. So, tell you the truth, this is a pretty lame battle as of right now. It will get a little more exciting, but as of right now, it's pretty lame. So I'm shooting at his other guys, because these guys are kind of like dying anyways, so I'm not really afraid of these guys. If I face them off in battle, I'm pretty sure my guys will be able to rout them, even if I don't have a full unit. so I'm not too worried about that. But now I'm starting to run away, maybe chase them away, have them come after me. And the bait kind of works. He actually starts to come after me, so I'm actually a little bit excited about this. I didn't want to risk my guys getting shot up by his arrows too much, because even though I'm not getting any any deaths right there, I'm a little bit nervous that I'm just getting lucky. So when his men are out of position, I'm gonna move up my archers and I'm gonna actually charge back, because his archers aren't gonna be able to face off against mine and my skirmisher cow. He can take a couple units and then shoot at me, but I'm gonna get my archers in range and start firing at his men, since he's decided to use all his archers at my skirmishers. So I'm gonna get a couple kills on his Nordic bows because they're grouped up with these guys, and his axes are actually gonna... Oh, I thought my eyes were actually dying. That's just the ammo bar going down. So now he's gonna move up his spears, and this is actually where the action starts to happen. I finally taunted him enough to move in and actually go for me on the hill. So basically my plan works, so I was extremely happy about that. I've actually routed this axe group, so now he only has 2 axes that I have to worry about. And I'm gonna retreat my archers over here, as you see. And my Scorpio unit, or whatever the hell you call it, actually moved them in position, so they're actually gonna begin firing on the enemy. Yeah, they're firing right now. See if we can see one of the shots. Yeah, there you go. And that does pretty good damage, as you just saw. So my skirmisher units are being chased by his axemen, so I'm gonna throw and then just retreat as much as I can, just so I don't get cut off by him. So his axes are kind of out of the battle right now. My Scorpio is just lighting these guys up, because obviously my bows aren't very powerful against them, but a Scorpio is a little more powerful. And I'm actually going to move up my infantry melee. This is my medium, I believe. My Praevitories and Explorer, whatever the hell they're called. I'm going to move them up along with my armor Eastern Auxilia Palatina and my other spears. Actually, I'm keeping my other spears back, excuse me. Those guys are really elite. They're the elite of the elite. So yeah, I have all my guys grouped up in like one bunch here. That's probably not the smartest, but like I said, this is only my second battle. So that's alright, I guess. And he's still chasing my guys, and I'm kind of distracted at this point. But I'm pretty sure I have these guys on skirmish mode, so I'm not too worried. See, yeah, they're on skirmish mode. They're going to start running away as soon as they get too close. And my archers are at this point undefended, so this actually worried me, so I think I'm going to move them back. I don't have them in skirmish mode, as you can see, so that's not good. But I am routing his spears, because spears don't do quite as well against infantry. So he is shooting me, but he's also shooting some of his own men, so I'm not too worried about that. Just kind of shooting over him. And as you see, my bow infantry, I've not really noticed them that much. So over here, I did actually charge him with my skirmishers, because my skirmishers did run out of ammo. So I do route his one axeman, and you can see his axes are actually throwing themselves at me with their axes. Not their bodies. They're not throwing their bodies at me. They're throwing their axes at me. Can't speak this morning. Alright, so over here, he just slams into me with his general unit and his very heavy, his heavy melee infantry. So that's not good. I was able to retreat my bow infantry with minimal loss, and I'm actually wavering his Nordic warriors over here with my spears, so that's good. He's also chasing me still with his melee infantry, but I'm gonna set up my bowmen so that I shoot at him. And now my Scorpio's actually aimed at these guys over here, just because these guys are just sitting up in a big group, so they're a lot easier to kill since they're all grouped, even though they are in loose formation. And over here you see that I got his medium melee infantry, his Nordic warriors throughout. So they're going to start running away from the battle. That's good. Even if they come back, they're not going to be very strong. Over here, he was able to rout one of my skirmisher units, as you can see. And this skirmisher unit is actually facing off with 27 guys left against his Axe Warband. So with 2 skirmisher units, I was able to take out essentially 3 Axe Warriors from the battle. Even though these guys are still alive and they're still okay, look how many losses they have. That's with 2 skirmisher units. So these guys are going to set up back over here with 15 guys left. And as you can see, his bowmen are beginning to waver. Their numbers are lowering. And I'm a little bit afraid right now because with these spears gone, this opens up for him to slam me from my left side with this unit right here. It's kind of funny though because he's shooting his own guys while he's also shooting me, so I'm not too afraid. My Scorpio actually runs out of ammo, I believe, right about here. You can see he did charge with his horses to try and swipe my bowmen, but I was able to cut him off with my cavalry units. So I have 2 cavalry units fighting in this with they're the heavy shock calv, so they do have the advantage when charging into the enemy. So they are pretty good with hand-to-hand fighting against other cavalry units. So let's just look at this up close real quick. Alright, and I also get my general unit into the fray over here. Because his general unit's in the fray, and if I do kill his general, then that's great. Right now his general's kind of behind my men, and I'm actually losing this side, so I throw everything I got. My men that were routed, I throw back in. Look at this, I'm even throwing in my, what's this called again? Scorpio? Yeah, I'm throwing in my Scorpio against these guys too. I'm gonna charge them. I'm actually aimed for the bowman, but I'm gonna actually hit the spearman by accident. Over here, I was able to rout his axemen with the very few skirmishers I do have left. That wasn't a major battle to be seen, but you see he's actually routing all my men over here, so that's not very good. I'm not looking good from that front. But on the cavalry side of the field, I'm actually winning this battle, as you can see, with minimal losses. All my losses are on my shock cavalry, but his guys are dying off a lot faster. We only have 5 minutes left in this battle. 5 minutes to kill as many guys as I can. Try and like hold the line. So I'm sending my men back as they're retreating and seeing what I can do, because his general unit is a very heavy melee infantry. So they're extremely strong and hard to kill. But he's actually going to chase after my archers. So with one of his medium melee infantry, so I'm actually going to chase him with my spears and one of my medium melee infantry. And at this point I should have charged my melee infantry back into the line of fight, because my guys aren't winning this battle. They are winning the right flank a little bit with the spears routed over here, so that's good, but I'm losing the left flank pretty bad. As you can see, my Scorpios are fighting valiantly, but they're just outnumbered, so I'm gonna charge in my my camels into the fight with the skirmishers. As you can see, he's charging in from behind at this point, and that's not good for my guys. Whenever you get around your enemy and are able to flank them from behind, that's the worst thing that can happen to you in battle, basically. So I'm gonna charge in my archers, because they're medium bow infantry basically, and they're all out of ammo, so I'm gonna charge in those guys to fight. They have like little knives, I think, to fight with, little sticks, whatever they can find. They can also whack each other with bows, so that's great. Over here you see I'm actually routing one of his heavy melee cavalry units, which is good, and his other 2 are wavering, so that's good. Obviously when they're routing and they're starting to retreat, they aren't completely done with battle, so I do have that to worry about, but I'm gonna keep these guys in battle as long as I can until I can take them out. My bow infantry right here aren't really doing anything. They're just kind of sitting there shooting what they can at the enemy. It's not very effective though, because I'm pretty sure I'm shooting more of my guys than I'm shooting him. At this point, I'm kind of unsure about the battle. I don't know which way it's going to go, because it does look like he does. It looks like he outnumbers me, like I was afraid at first with the battle. So that's not good. But my men are fighting pretty hard. And over here though, once I clear up these cavalry units, I'm going to charge into the field. Make sure that these guys aren't much of an issue. Yeah, that guy's running away.
They're not done yet.
Once I clear out this guy, I'm going to charge in with and swoop in with my cavalry units. As long as it's not too late. Because look at this, my men are wavering pretty bad right now.
Enemy units have been rallied.
I have taken out most of his archers with the few skirmisher cavalry I have left. So these guys are doing a ton of work with their skirmisher units. And at this point, his guys are all grouped in one battle, and I'm grouped in two. My guys are wavering, so that's kind of bad. It could go either way at this point, I figure.
The men are running, cowards.
Over here, his guys are routed completely. He does have one unit left with 11 guys. I'm not afraid. I'm not going to chase after those guys. They can't really do anything. 2.5 minutes left. I'm afraid that I'm running out of time and not going to have enough time to do everything that I want and win this battle, because at this point I realize I do have the advantage. He has no spearmen left. Actually, he does have one spear infantry left, the spear masters, but they are extremely low in numbers at this point, that a cavalry charge against them isn't gonna is gonna still be pretty strong. So I'm gonna charge in all my guys to try and take him out. And I have taken out most of his bow infantry. As you can see, they're beginning to rout. He just have one unit left over here. And my bows are shooting at him. His spearmasters are pretty much done now at this point. And look at these guys. These guys, the very heavy melee infantry, the Protectaries, whatever, domestic, whatever. I'm not even going to say that. Told you, I don't speak Latin. Those guys are doing real good work. My skirmishers have routed his archers. So at this point, if I can take out his general, I win this battle almost instantly. But there's only a minute and a half left. And my guys are still coming around the hill. And they're exhausted at this point. So that's not looking good. My heavy melee infantry are fighting off. And it's 3 units at this point. So they are extremely outnumbered. But I do have cavalry units, so I'm not too afraid. I'm going to use my skirmishers to keep on fighting off these bows and keep on routing these guys until they just run away and don't come back. 'Cause there's still 11 of these guys, and at this point they're a little bit afraid with these archers chasing after them. I don't know why. They routed so many guys, they shouldn't be afraid at this point.
The men are broken and running for their lives.
At this point, if I had more time, I would have swooped around and charged from the sides. But since I don't have more time, I'm going to have to charge in from the center. And I realize there's only a minute left, so I'm going to have to move in my general unit in a second. I don't know why I'm actually not moving him in. It's kind of weird, but yeah, his melee infantry are starting to rout from my cavalry charge. So my cavalry units are doing pretty good work. At this point, I'm pretty sure he was just hoping that there's a draw, but I realized that I pretty much have this battle won if I can beat the time limit. So at this point, it's a race against time. So there's just 3 of his units left, essentially. These archers don't really count. Those archers don't really count. They're chasing away my guys. That's alright. Those guys did a ton of work, so they deserve to run away. Like cowards, I guess. They were pretty courageous, I'd have to say. And so at this point, I'm beginning to rout his guys. And I know I have won this battle, but there's only 10 seconds left. And it's pissing me off so much, because if I had 30 more seconds, this battle would be over. But unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be ending in a draw, as you can see. But pretty much, I had that battle won. if only I reacted a little bit sooner and didn't just sit there waiting for him, that battle would have been mine. So, good match to my opponent. I wish he didn't camp it out, and I wish I didn't camp it out too long, because quick matches, you just can't really camp for the whole match, or even 5 minutes. That's too much. Look at his numbers that he killed. He did 200 kills with his elite Nordic warriors. They did a ton of work. And if you look at my skirmisher units, they did an insane amount of kills. 358 kills, 289. I've never seen those numbers in a normal Total War game. And look at this. Their XP rank went up by 2. And I don't even think they had anything before. These guys did 125 kills, the spear unit, so they did good. Also, the melee infantry I was talking about, the Protectores, whatever the hell they're called, did 207 kills, so that's good. I had a lot less, actually, I had 500 less, 600 less men deployed originally. I lost 1,000. He lost 1,800. So when you add up the numbers, even though it was close in the end, I would say I had that match won man for man at least, since my men did kill more than him. Anyways, good match to Lana del Rey. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, favorite, subscribe. Have a great day, guys. Bye.